Okay, so in this video, we are going to link projects to our building. So I'm going to show you how to link. So as you can see, I have here my main site file. So I'm going to link here the building model. Okay, so to start, I'm going to open level 1. So let me just double click that. And then there's already the outline of the building that I'm going to insert, and some of the buildings as well that I'm going to insert here. Okay, so let us now use the link tool. Okay, so from the insert tab, from the link panel, so I'm going to select here link Revit. So let's click that, and then I'm going to select here C main building. So this is the one that I'm going to link, and then I'm just going to change the positioning here, and since this model doesn't have any coordinates applied to it, so I'll just select here auto center to center. Okay, so I just want to place the main model at the center of my Revit project. So I'm going to select auto center to center, and then I'll just select here open. Okay, so after that, I'm going to move it. Okay, so I just need to move that to that outline there. So here's the model. So if I check that in 3D view, so this is how it looks like. Okay, so I'm just going back again to the floor plan. Okay, so you have a couple of ways to move or align your model. So you can use the move command or you can use the align command. Okay, so for this one, I'll just use the align command. So I'll go to the modify tab, and then I'll use align tool. So let's click that, and then I want to align that to this line here, and then I want to align this side here. There you go. So it's now aligned. Now I'm going to select align tool again, and then I'm going to click this line. Okay, and then I'm going to select this line here. There you go. So it's now aligned. Okay, so now the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to link another model here. So let's go to the link Revit, and then I'm going to select here classroom module. So again, auto center to center. So I'll just select here open, and then we are going to place our model to this location here. Okay, so for me to be able to do that, I just need to rotate this one first. So I'm gonna select, and then after that I select here rotate. Okay, and then I'm going to pick here, that's my base point, and then I'm going to pick another point here, and then after that you can now type the value or the angle that you want, or you can pick. So once you see the angle that you want, you can just pick or you can type. So in my case, I'll just use 45. So I'll just click. There you go. Okay, and then after that, I'm just going to move this model here. So I'm just going to select that. Okay, and then I'm going to select the move command. I'm going to zoom in. So I'll just snap at the midpoint. There's my midpoint. So I'll click that midpoint. And then after that, I'm going to click this one here. Okay, so I'm just going to unselect the constraint so I can move freely. Okay, so now I can click the endpoint. There you go. And then after that, I'll just select here modify. Okay, so now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to copy. Okay, I'm going to copy this module here. So in 3D view, this is how it looks like. Okay, right, so let me just go back again, and then I'll select this. This time I'm going to select the move tool, and then I'm going to select the base point here, click that, and then I'm going to click that line there, the endpoint. There you go. And then after that, just select here modify. Oh, it should be copy, so I'm just going to undo, not move. So we need to copy, so select and then copy. So let's click that, and then let's click here. There you go, and then modify. Now we are going to mirror these two classroom module to the other side. So I'm going to select one and then hold control, select the other classroom module, and then I'm going to use this one, mirror peak axis. Let's click that, and then I'm going to select this line as my axis. Click, and there you go. And then select here, modify. Okay, so in 3D view, this is how it looks like. Right? So let's say, for example, I want to update a link. Okay, so I want to update my classroom module. So let's say, for example, I want to put a door here, okay, on that side. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the classroom module project. All right, so to do that from the project browser, I'll select here Revit links, just expand that. Here you'll be able to see all the projects Revit model that is linked to your current project. And one of that project is classroom module. So I'm just going to right click this, and then there's an option here, open and unload. Okay, so another way to access that is you can also go to insert, and then you can go to manage links. Just click that, and then you can see now your manage links dialog box. Okay, so you can see here the Revit model, the status, which is loaded, the reference type, okay, and the save path, and then the path type. So if I select my classroom module, so as you can see, so there's an option here wherein you can reload from, you can unload, or you can also add other files in your project. Okay, if you click okay, this one we don't have any work set, that's why this is disabled. So I can also right click this, and then I can select here reload, reload from, unload, or remove. Okay, so now I'm just going to close this one. So I just want to open and unload my classroom module. So right click and then open and unload. Just click that. All right, so we are now opening. As you can see, it's now unloaded on our project because we are opening the classroom module. Okay, so before we modify this, I'm just going to save as this one. So let me save that in my project. Okay, so this is my classroom module options. So, okay, and then I'll just select here save. Okay, so now I can modify this one. Okay, so let's say I want to add a door here. So I'm going to select the door tool, just click that, single flash. So I want to put a door here. So let's say like this. Okay, so I'm going to place it. There you go. And then after that, I'm going to select here, modify. Okay. So after that, I'm just going to save this. And then I'm going to close my classroom module. Now going back to my project here. Okay, so I just need to right click this one, and then I'll just select reload from. Now, if you do not change, if you didn't change the location of your classroom module or the project that you have updated, all you have to do is to select reload, and it will update your model. Okay, but since we changed the location of our classroom module or our project, so you need to select the other option here, which is reload from, wherein you can find where did you save it and then reload it from there. So I just select here reload from, and then this is the one. So I just select that, and then I'll select here open. And there you go. So it's now updated, and that's what I'm talking about. So it's now updated here. See, so there's now my door. Okay, so the door is now added to our project. Okay, so Another thing that you can do is, let's say, for example, I'm going to open the south elevation here. So let me double click that. And then there's a lot of levels going on here, right? So it's kind of confusing. So what I want to do here is I want to modify my south elevation. I do not want to show all the levels here because the levels of your link is also showing, right? You see, that's the levels of your link. Okay, so what I can do is I can override it. Okay, so to do that, if you want to override or to modify the link model in your project, you just need to open your visibility graphic overrides. Okay, you can type VV, Victor, Victor, VV, or without selecting any elements, you can go to the properties and then look for visibility graphics override. So you can click that, just select edit, and then look for the Revit links. Okay, Revit links will appear on your visibility graphic overrides if you have a link project. Okay, if you don't have any Revit link project in your project, you will not be able to see Revit links. Okay, so this is only appearing if you have a Revit link in your project. So you just click that one and then look for the module. So let's say you do not want to show the level, okay? You do not want to show the level of your classroom module. So what I'm gonna do is I'll just select here by host view, and then I'm going to select here custom, and then I go to the annotation categories, and then I select here custom again so that it will enable these categories here. So if I select custom, as you can see, it's now enabled. So you just need to look for the levels. So I just need to uncheck the levels here. Okay, and then after that I select here OK, and then OK. As you can see, it will now hide that levels of my link model classroom module. So let's say I also want to hide this, the levels of my main building. Okay, so same procedure. Just go to visibility graphic overrides, Revit links, this time main building, custom, custom, and then look for levels. Then OK, OK, and there you go. All right. So that's it for this simple exercise of working with our link project. So now the next part of the exercise is I'm going to show you how to copy elements from a link file to a host file. Okay, to establish a relationship between the copied elements and monitor the elements. Okay, so how to do that? So here's my exercise for that. So my exercise is copy and monitor elements. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to link the Revit model. Okay, so as you can see, I don't have any model here, right? So if I go to the 3D view, nothing here. Okay, so it's nothing. So I'm going to link Revit model. So insert, link Revit. So I want to link here the link file, this one. So I'm gonna select that. I'll select here center to center. I'll just select here center to center. I'll just select open. Okay. By the way, if you want to use the exact exercise files that I'm using, you can check the description of this video, and then you can click the link there, and then you will be able to purchase or avail all the exercises that I'm using in this video. Okay, so now that we have linked the project, the next thing that we are going to do, we are going to copy an element here. Okay, so to do that, I just go to the collaborate, and then from the coordinate, you can see here copy monitor. Okay, so this is one of the tools that we can use to do some coordination in your project. Okay, So here, I'm going to select copy monitor, select link, because we have a link model here. So I'm going to select link. Okay. And then after that, I'm going to hover my pointer until it highlights the link model. So as you can see, it shows Revit links. So I'm going to click that. Okay, so as you can see now, I am on the copy monitor tab. Okay, so I have these tools here. So I have options, copy, monitor, coordination settings, batch, copy. Okay, so now I'm going to click the options here. So I select the options. Okay, so these are the categories that you can copy, by the way, from your link model. You can copy the levels, you can copy the grids, walls, floors. So I'm going to select here walls. Okay, and then as you can see here, I have original type here. So this original type, these are the walls on our link model. That's why it says original type. So that's the walls on my link model. And then here on the left side, this will gonna be the new type. Like for example, if I'm going to copy the curtain wall, okay, once I finish copying that, it will becomes a generic 200 millimeters wall. So that's what will happen. Okay, so like for example, I want to copy the interior wall of my link model. Okay, so I can specify here what will be the new type that will be placed in my project after I copy the interior 135 partition to hour. Okay, so I can change this one. So instead of generic wall, so I can click that and then click the drop down here. And then I will look for interior. This one, I'll select the same. Okay, so I select that. There you go. So that when I copy this, this is the new type that will be copied. So it's just the same, right? So the next thing that I'm going to do is here on my additional copy parameters, you can see here, you can verify that copy windows, doors, and openings is selected. Okay, so it's checked. This will going to ensure that these elements get copied along with the wall. So after you copy this wall into this wall here, it will also copy the windows, the doors, and then the opening if this is checked. Okay, so now I'm fine with this. I'm just going to select OK. I'm not going to modify the other types of walls here. I'm only particular on the interior wall. So I want to copy the interior wall into this interior wall, including the windows, doors, and openings. So I'll just select here open. OK. All right, so we are now going to copy it. So I'm going to select here copy, and then I'm going to enable select multiple. So I'm gonna enable that. Okay, and then I'm going to use a window selection. So I'm gonna click here to here. Okay. All right. Okay, and then after that, here, I can now select finish. Or let's go here, sorry, this one. So I can modify copy. Oh, here. You can also filter, by the way. So if you click filter, you'll be able to see here all the categories that you have select. It's just so happened that in this exercise, we only have the walls. So that's why you can only see walls here. But that's fine. So I'm just going to select OK. So I'm just showing you that you can also filter the selection. Okay. So after that, just finish it. There you go. So you see that symbol. So meaning these elements that having this symbol, they are being monitored. Okay. And also the new walls are copied in the host file at the same location as in the original file and are aligned to the corresponding wall center lines. Okay, so I'm going to select copy monitor again here to finish it. Finish. There you go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide my link model. Okay, so I want to hide the link model. I only want to see the copied elements. So let me go to VV, visibility graphic overrides, go to Revit links. I'm just going to uncheck this and then I select OK. And there you go. See, I was able to copy elements from link model. Okay, so these are generic 200 millimeters because we didn't change the settings of that one. But for our interior wall, you can see that it turns to interior 135 millimeters partition 2-hour. Okay, and then every time you select an element from the copied element, you see there's a symbol like this one. So meaning to say this wall is being monitored. So if you move that, let's say I drag that one, you see there is this notification or warning that that particular wall is being modified. Okay, you have that coordination monitor elements, right? So I'm just going to undo. I do not want to modify that, but that's what happens every time you move a monitored element. You will always see that coordination alert. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select this one. Okay, let's click that. And then after that, you see this value here, I can change this one. So I can also check, aside from dragging that or moving, you can also use your dimension here. So let's say I want to make that 2100. 2100, enter. So again, coordination monitor alert, wall center lines are different. Okay, because if I'm going to turn on again my link model, so it's now different, right? You see, that's a different because you already move it. Okay, so anyway, so let me just hide that. Okay, so if you want to have an elements copied to your project from the link model, this is what you do. So you can use copy monitor. So you can, let's say, you can also drag that, you can also modify, you can play around, okay, using the elements that you have copied from the link model. Okay, so basically that's how you use your copy monitor. So you can also go to the coordination review. Okay, so what you can do is we are just going to select the link model. Now I'm going to turn on my link model here. Okay, because I'm going to select link. So I'm going to select the link model. And then you can see here that these are the changes that I have made. Okay, you can change this by status category, category status. Okay, so you can expand that and then you can click here. You will see that it highlights the elements that have changed, right? So remember, we have moved some of the elements. That's why there are some elements here or issues that needs to be put an action it. So you need to put an action. So like for example, for this one, wall center lines are different. Okay, so you have the link file and then you have the copied element. Okay, so what do you want to do? So you can put an action. So like for example, you want to accept the difference. So I'm just going to select accept and then I select apply. So it will now be disappeared from the list here. Okay, so like for example, this one, I want to accept the difference. So I just select apply. As you can see, it's now removed from the list here. So like for example, for this one here, so what do you want to do with that? So you can reject, you can select apply. Okay, so there's a rejected here, right? And then you can add a comment here. Why did you reject it? Okay, so again, I still have some unresolved here. So like for example, this 4 here. So I select this one. So what do you want to do there? So let's say modify. So I want to modify it. So apply. Okay, so it's now modified, unresolved. Okay, modify, modify. Okay, and this one, accept the difference. All right, and then you can also create a report. Okay, if you go back to your coordination review, select the link model, you see there's an option here, create report. Okay, so you can create a report like an HTML. So I just saved that in my documents, save. Okay, and then I'm just gonna show you what it looks like. This one here. There you go. You see? So I have my Revit coordination report in host project. So this is rejected. Okay. So this is just some of the tools that you can use for coordination in your project. So you can use copy monitor, coordination review. Okay. So you can use copy monitor if you want to copy elements from your link model and then play around. Okay. So that's it for this video. So hopefully you learned something from this. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.